Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture. In this lecture, we are going to learn about degeneracy in transportation problem. Here, we are going to resolve the degeneracy in a transportation problem. What is it, degeneracy? Here, when we are trying to calculate the optimal solution, at the time we have to check the problem in degeneracy or in non-degeneracy by the help of m plus n minus 1. Okay, m plus n minus 1. Here m means a number of rows and n means number of columns. Minus 1 we have to equal to, we have to do it is equal to allocation, or otherwise if it is not equal to allocation, the given problem is in degeneracy. If it is equal to allocation, the given problem is in non-degeneracy. Okay. Here we are taking one example to solve this degeneracy in a transportation problem. Here total we have 4 rows and 5 columns. It means 4 supply stations and 5 demand stations we have. In this transportation problem we have 7 allocations we have, and total we had 9 rows we had. So from that we are going to check the given problem is in degeneracy or non-degeneracy. Here m means number of rows, 4 rows are there, then n means number of columns, 5 are there, minus 1. It means it is equal to 8. But here what is the allocations? Here we have total 7 allocations are there. Only allocations are 7. It means 8 is not equal to 7. So the given problem is in degeneracy. The given problem is in degeneracy. So now we are going to resolve this degeneracy by the help of optimization technique. It means here now we are going to resolve this degeneracy by the help of UV method. UV method we are using to resolve this degeneracy. The UV method, it is also called as modified distribution technique. It is also called as MODI method. Okay. Here what is the UV? How we are calculating the UV? In UV we have to calculate the Cij for allocated cells, and we have to check the delta Ij for unallocated cells. Okay, unallocated cells we have to check this. Here now we are going to calculate this Cij for this unallocated. At the time of Cij we are calculating by checking the degeneracy and non-degeneracy. If it is a degeneracy, we have to resolve the degeneracy first. Here in our case we have the degeneracy, so we don't go for this calculation directly without resolving the degeneracy. Here we have to resolve the degeneracy first, then only we go for optimization by the help of UV method. Here we have one method to resolve the degeneracy, that is, first one, we have to give the minute value for unassigned or unallocated cell, that is called as E. We are going to allocate the E value for unallocated cell. Here we have total 13 unallocated cells we have. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 unallocated cells are there. In that 13 we are going to assign for epsilon value for any one cell. How we are allocating that epsilon value, how we are allocating that minute value for that unallocated cell? Here we have one rule. From the unallocated cells we are going to identify the minimum value, minimum cost value. Here in this 13 unallocated cells, from this 13 unallocated we have the minimum value at S2D1 and S3D2. So here we have two files. here we have two files. So in these two files we are going to take e value arbitrarily or randomly. We are going to assign this e value for any one of this cell. Okay, then after we are assigning this cell, then we are going to calculate the u values, v values, then we are going to calculate the dij value. Okay, now I am going to assign the e value for the unallocated cell for balancing the allocations. Okay, the e is very minute value. It means we have taken the e is equal to 0. It doesn't affect anywhere. So at the time of calculations, we are considering e is equal to 0. Here in our original problem, we have 5 destination stations and 4 supply stations. Okay, I am taking those here. Okay, and here we have the originally we have 7 allocations. Those 7 allocations are at first allocation is S1 D2, then second allocation is S2 D3. Here the first allocation is S1 D2, that is 20. Then the second allocation is here we have 15. Then third allocation here we have next fourth. Next fifth allocation we have, sixth allocation we have here, seventh allocation is here. Then the total supply values I would like to take SI. The supply values are 35, 40, 20, 30. Then I would like to take demand values DJ 20. It is also 20, 40, 10. 35. Okay, it is a balanced transportation problem. Why? Because already they are given total supply is equal to total demand. Now I am going to allocate the e value. Here where we are going to, where should we are allocating the e value? Here at anywhere of these two cells we are going to allocate the e value. Why we are allocating this e value for this particular cells? It be because here we have one rule, that is a thumb rule. Anyway, we have to identify the minimum cost value from the transportation matrix. In the transportation matrix we are going to identify the minimum cost. In that minimum cost we are going to allocate. Here in our case we have two minimum values, two minimum same values we have. So in that we are going to take any one cell and we are going to assign the e value random arbitrarily. Okay, now I would like to take the cell is this cell and I am going to allocate e value here. Again we are going to check the m plus n minus 1. Here what is the m plus n minus 1? M plus n minus 1 is equal to 8 minus 1 is equal to 7. It means it is also called as n. This is also, this total value is we are called as n, capital N. We are denoting this value in capital N. Capital N is equal to 7. Then total allocations is, sorry, here n is equal to m plus n minus 1. Here n is 9 is there, 5 plus 4, 9 minus 1 is equal to 8. Okay, n is equal to, we have 8. Then the allocations also we have 8 allocations, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So n is equal to allocations, it means 8 is equal to 8. So it is a non-degeneracy. So here we resolve the degeneracy. Okay, now we are going to calculate the total cost by the help of UV method. Okay, now we are calculating the UV method. Here it is a lengthy problem. Here we have the allocation 20, 15, 10, 30, epsilon, 20, 25, 5. Okay, then the DJ is 20, 20, 40, 10, 35. Next supply is 35, 40, 20, 30. Okay. Now we are going to calculate the shadow prices. These are also called as the shadow prices, UI and VJ values. Here first we are going to calculate the shadow price for rows, then shadow price for columns. The shadow prices of rows are denoted by the U1, U2, U3, U4. Then coming to the column shadow prices, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. Here total we have 9 shadow prices. We are going to calculate the 9 shadow prices by the help of the formula Cij plus Uy plus Vj. This is for allocated cells. Okay, allocated cells. Here first coming to the Cij, this Cij is called as net cost or unit cost value. It is available at a table. Okay. Next Uy is called row shadow price. Next Vj is called column shadow price. Okay, from this we are going to calculate. First we have the allocated. Here what is the Cij value? S1 D1. For S1 D1 it means C12 is equal to U1 plus V2. Next, where we have the second allocation, C13, it means U1 plus V3. Next, where we have the next allocation, here we have the next allocation, C24, U2 plus V4. Next, here we have another allocation, C25 is equal to U2 plus V5. Next, again we have C31 is equal to U3 plus V1. Okay. Okay, next allocation we have at S3D2, that is C32 U3 plus V2. Okay, next allocation we have at S4D3. S4D3 is equal to U4 plus V3. Then the next allocation we have at S4D5. S4D5, that is equal to U4 plus V5. From this now we are going to calculate the shadow prices by assuming any one shadow price is equal to 0. Here now I would like to take U1 is equal to 0. Here I am assuming U1 is equal to 0. From this, here we are going to substitute U1 equal to 0. Before we are going to substitute U1 equal to 0, we have to verify C12 value. How much is there C12? C12 is 2 is there. 2 is equal to 0 plus V2. From this we obtained V2 value. V2 is equal to 2. Next, C13. How much is there C13? 3 is equal to U1 is 0 plus V3. From this V3 is equal to 3. Next, coming to the third one, C24. Here C24 value is 2 is equal to U2. Here we don't know the U2 value. That's the reason I am taking U2 plus V4. Here V4 also we don't know. Next, going to the second one, another one, C25. What is the C25 value? C25 is 4. 4 is equal to U2 plus V5. Here we don't know the U2 and V5. Next, coming to this C31. What is the C31? C31 is 20. 20 is equal to U3. We don't know. Then V1 also we don't know. Next, coming to the C32. What is the C32 value? C32 is 5. 5 is equal to U3 plus V2. Here we have the V2 value. V2 is 2. So we are going to substitute V2 is here. From this we obtained U3 value. U3 is 3. U3 is 3. Okay. So now I would like to substitute this U3 value in this equation. From this 20 is equal to 3 plus V1. Here V1 is equal to 17. V1 is 17. Here U2, V4, V5 we don't know. So come to here. Here we know the V3 value. So C43 is, we have 25 is equal to U4 plus V3. What is the V3? 3. From this U4 is equal to 22. Here C45. C45 is 8. 8 is equal to U4. Here we know 22 plus V5. What is the V5? We don't know. From this we obtained V5. V5 is equal to 14 minus 14. Okay. Come to here. V4 is 22 we know. Next U2 value we don't know. V4 is we don't know. V5 we know the V5 value 14. So I am going to substitute V5 here. From this U2 is equal to 4 minus of V5. 4 or otherwise 4 minus V5. It means 4 minus of 14, that is equal to 18. U2 is 18. Here I am going to substitute U2 value. V is 4 is equal to 2 minus 18. Here we get minus 16. 2 minus 18 equal to minus 16. Okay, all shadow places we calculated. Now we are going to calculate the Tij value for unallocated cells. So far we calculated the values for allocated cells. Now we are going to calculate the values for unallocations. Okay. Here CI, first coming to the delta Ij, where we have the unallocated. Here we have the one unallocated, that is first one S1 D1 we have one unallocated. Okay, that is equal to C11. What is the C11 value? C11 is 10. We have 10 minus Ui means U1 0 minus Vj 17 is equal to minus 7. Next S1 D4 we have the another unallocated. We can represent that unallocated by the help of S1 D1 or delta 15, whatever it may be. Here we may take delta 11. Okay, otherwise S1 D1. Here now another allocation we have at S1 D4. So I would like to take S1 D4 here. S1 D4. What is the value of S1 D4? Cij value 15 minus Ui means U1 0 minus 15 at V4 we have. V4 is minus 16. From this we obtain 15 plus 16 is equal to 1. Okay. Next one, where we have unallocated. Here we have one unallocated, that is delta 15. Delta 15 is implies what is the value? 9 minus u1 is 0 minus where we have v5. At v5 column it is available. v5 means minus 14. From this 9 plus 14, 23. Okay, it is over, it is over, it is over. Coming to this 5 is there, so where we have the 5 at 2 1. Okay, 5 minus u2 value is 18 minus what is the v1 value? 17. 18 minus 17 is the v1 value. From this we obtain 30, I think, minus 30. Okay, 35 minus 5, 30 minus 30. Next, here we have another one, delta 2 2. It is 10 minus u2 is 18, v2 is 2. 18 minus 2, that is equal to minus 6. Next, another unallocation is 15 is there, so that is delta 2 3. That implies 15 minus u2 is 18. Next, what is the v3 value here? v3 is 3. That is equal to minus 6. Again we get minus 6. Okay, here I think minus 10. Okay, by mistake I wrote 6, that is minus 10. Next, where we have another one, this 3 is also over. Next, coming to this S3 D3. What is the value of S3 D3? 14. With u3 is 3, v3 is 3. 14 minus 3, 3. That is equal to 8. 14 minus 3, 3, 8. Next, here we have S3 D4. S3 D4. What is the S3 value? 7, 3 minus 16. 7, 3 minus of minus 16. Okay, from this 4 plus 16, 20. Next, here S3 D5. S3 D5 means delta 3 5, that is equal to 15 minus 3 minus of minus 14. Okay, here 12 plus 14, 26. Next, this 3 also over. Next, coming to this S4 D1. Here another unallocation is S4 D1, that implies 20 minus u4 value is 22 minus 17. Okay, minus 19 from this. Next, another one is, it is over. Coming to this S4 D2, that is equal to 15 minus 22 minus 2, that implies 9. Okay, next, here we have another one, delta 4 4, that is equal to 25 minus 22 minus of minus 16. Okay, from this 19 we obtained. Here we have total 13 unallocated cells. We are calculating 13. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 only. Oh, one it is one another allocation is there. So after this allocation we have only 12 unallocations. 12 for the 12 we are calculating the delta ij values. From this we are going to check the dij value. If the dij is greater than or equal to 0, we are stopping the solution and we are going to calculate the optimal solution. Here, but here we have the negative values. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 negative values are there. In this 4, we are going to identify the most negative value. It is a delta Ij is less than or equal to 0, so it doesn't reaches the optimality, doesn't exit the optimality, or it doesn't reaches the optimality. So now we are going to resolve this and we are going to check the optimality. Here how we are getting the optimality from this. Here we have some steps. For step 1, we are going to identify the most negative value. Identify the most negative value. After identifying the most negative value, we are going to draw the loops. The loop contains 4 corners. It may be rectangle or square shape, or otherwise 8, or otherwise L shapes. These are all acceptable shapes. Okay, based on the highest negative value, we are going to draw the loop. The loop must contain one end is unallocated and the remaining ends are, it must be allocations. It must have allocation. Then only the loop is valid, otherwise the loop is not valid. Okay, here we have the most negative value at delta 21. Delta 21 is, we have the most negative value. From this we are going to draw the loop. Okay, here I would like to take this most negative value cell and I am going to draw the loop. This I am going to draw the loop. Here the loop is started here. We have the rule. The loop must contain with one unallocated, then the allocations. So we are going to start the loop here too. Where we have the allocation, here we have the allocation. Okay, then next here we have the allocation, then here we have the allocation, then here we have the allocation, then here we have the allocation, next here, next here, finally we got allocation is here. Okay, now we are going to give the signs plus. Here we have minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus. Okay. Now I am going to transfer the unit values through the loop. Here would like to identify the minimum value. Where we have the minimum value, it means at a negative position we are taken. Here we have total 3 negatives. 4 negatives, 1, 2, 3, 4. From these 4 we have negative is 20. Okay, 20. Now we are going to transferring the 20 units throughout the loop. Okay, here I am going to draw that loop again. Here we obtained the loop is like this shape. Here we have the unit value is 0 and the sign is positive, and here we have the unit value is 20, that sign is negative. Here 20, then sign is negative. Here we have E, sign is positive. Here we have 15, sign is positive, and here we have 25, sign is negative, and here we have 30, negative, 15, positive. From this we are going to identify. Here we draw the loop. After drawing the loop, we are going to transfer the cost value, transfer the units throughout the loop. Here first we have to identify the minimum value. In this loop, minimum value, where we have the minimum value, minimum value is we have at 20. At the negative signs we are considering here. Positive also we have the minimum values. We don't want to consider that. Only at the negative places we have to consider the minimum value. Here we have the negatives, or 4 negatives are there, 20, 25, 30, 20. From this the minimum value is 20. It is, we have the tie, so we can take any one from these two. So here I would like to take this 20. Okay, now I am taking this 20. I am going to transfer this 20 units throughout the loop in this table S2, S3, S4, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. Here actually we have the cost values are 10, 2, 3, 15, 9, and the supply value is 35. And here 5, 10, 15, 2, 4, then the supply is 40. Next here 15, 5, 14, 7, 15, 20. Next here 20, 15, 13, 25, 8. The cost values are, and the supply value is 30. Coming to the demand values, the demand values are 20, 20, 40, 10, 35. Okay, here now I'd like to mark the allocations. The first row here we have the allocation, and here we have the negative side. The total allocation is 20 units are there. From this we are going to transfer the 20 units. 20 minus 20, here we get the 0. Then coming to this we are going to add the 20 units here. After adding the 20 units we get 35 units here. Okay. After we transferring the 20 units to this, here already 10 is there. If we transfer 20 units here, 30 minus 20, we get 10 units. Okay. Then after we are transferring these 20 units to this, we get 20, and here 20 plus E. Here 5 units we obtained. Here 25 units. Okay, and now we are going to cross check the demand and supply values. After transferring the units throughout the loop, we have to check the supply and demand. So after transferring, first supply is 35 is satisfied, then the second 40 satisfied, then 20. Here 20 plus E is there. What is the E value? E is 0, so it doesn't affect anywhere. Okay. Next here 25 plus 5, 30 is satisfied. Coming to the columns, 20 is satisfied, and here 20, 40, 10, 35. It is satisfied. Okay. Again, now we are going to calculate the shadow prices for each allocated cell. Okay. The shadow prices are we denoted with the help of U and V. Okay. Here we are after transferring the unit cost values, we have to check the allocations again. Here we have the allocations are 8 allocations are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 7 allocations are there. Next again we are going to check the m plus n minus 1. Here we have m means number of rows or number of columns, whatever it may be. 5 are there, plus 4 minus 1. Total we have 8, but 8 is not equal to 7, so it is a degeneracy. Again we are going to resolve the degeneracy. Again we are going to take the epsilon value, then based on that epsilon we are going to draw the loop. Again we are going to calculate the shadow prices. Again we are going to check the optimality. Okay, coming to this table, here now we are going to identify the minimum value from the unallocations. In this unallocations the minimum value is 2, so here I would like to take the value is epsilon. But what is the epsilon value? Epsilon means it is the minute value. So okay, here we have taken the minute value for this, for balancing. After allocating this, we obtained m is equal to 8 plus 8. Okay, allocations is equal to n. 8 is equal to 8 we have obtained. Now we are going to draw the loop for this table based on the allocations. Okay. Okay. Now I am going to draw the loop from this unallocation. Here I am starting the loop here, and here we have a rule for the loop drawing. The loop, when we start at one particular point, we have to move the right hand side direction. Then the loop contains all corners. It must be in allocations except the starting corner. Here we have the unallocation, so we are going to move the loop here to here. It is allocation is there. Next we are searching for another allocation. Here we have another allocation. Then we are moving to this, and we are getting the allocation is here. Next we are moving here, then we get here. Next we are moving to here. Okay, now we are going to give the signs: positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative sign. Okay. Now from this we are going to identify the minimum unit cost, minimum unit values. Here we have the negatives, are we have total 1, 2, 3 negatives are there. From this 20 is the minimum. So again we are going to transfer the 20 units throughout this loop. Okay. If I have 10, 2, 3, 15, 9 here, 5, 10, 15, 2, 4 here, 15, 5, 14, 7, 15, and here 20, 15, 13, 25, 8. Okay. Okay, now we are going to transferring the unit values through the loop. Here first, coming to this, here we have a positive sign, and here we have the 20 units earlier, and negative sign is there. We are going to transfer this 20 units to this cell. So after transferring, we get 20 units here. Okay. Next, here epsilon is there. There is no change in this. And coming to this, here we have 35 units are there. Minus 35 means 35 minus 20 means we obtained 15. Okay. Next, come to this. Here we have 5 units. Then we are going to add the 20 units. From this 25 we get. Next, here 25 is there. We are going to subtract. After subtracting, here we get 5 units. Okay. And next, coming to this, here 10 units are there. Now we are going to add 20 this 30. Okay. And here we have one allocation is there, 20 plus E. Okay. Now we are going to check the supply and demand. Actually, original supply is we have 35, 40, 20, 30, and demand is 20, 40, 10, 35. After transferring, here we get 35 is satisfied. Here 30 is there, and here one more cell is there. We have 10. Okay, 30 plus 10, 40. Okay, here also we have 10. I forgot it. Next, here 20. Next, 25, 5, 30. It is supplies are satisfied. Next, coming to the demand, here 20. Next, here 20. Here 40, 10, 35. So we are going to cross check 20, 40, 10, 35. Okay, it is satisfied. Now we are going to calculate the shadow prices U1, U2, U3, U4. Next, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. Okay, for first, coming to the first allocation, Cij is equal to Ui plus Vj. Here total we have 8 allocations. So first allocation is at C11 is there, C11 U1 plus V1, it is equal to 10 plus U1 plus V 10 is equal to U1 plus V1. Next, coming to the second one, C12 U1 plus V2. Next, C13 U1 plus V3. Next, C24 U2 plus V4. Next, C25 U2 plus V5. Next, C32 U2 plus U3 plus V2. Next, C43 U4 plus V3. Next, C45 U4 plus V5. From by using this, we are going to get the allocations, shadow price values. Here I would like to assume shadow price U1 is equal to 0. From this, V1 equal to 10 we get. Next, coming to the second one, here we know the U1 value. So C1 is 2 is there. From this, we are going to obtain V2. 2 minus 0 is equal to 2. Next, here U1 is there. From this, we are going to get the V3 value. C13 is 3 minus 0 is equal to 3. Next, U2, here we don't know the U2, so we go for the another one. Here also we don't know U2 and V5. Next, coming to this, here we know the V2 value. From this, we are going to get U3. U3 is equal to C32. C32 is 5 minus V2. What is the V2 value? 2. So we obtained 3. U3 is 3. Next, C43. Here we don't know the U4 and V3, and here we know the we don't know the U4 and V5. Okay. Here we know the V3 value. So from this, we are going to get U4. C43. C43 is 13 minus V3 is 3 is equal to 10. U4 is 10. Okay. Here I am going to substitute U4 value. From this, we are going to get V5. C45 is 8 minus 10 is equal to minus 2. Next, here we know the V5 value. From this, we are going to get U2. U2 is equal to C25. C25 means 4 minus V5 minus 2 is equal to 6. U2 is 6. Here we are going to substitute U2. From this, we are going to get V4. C24. C24 is 2 minus U2 6. From this, we are going to get minus 4. These are the shadow prices. Again, we are going to check the optimality by the help of Dij. Dij is equal to Cij minus Ui minus Vj for allocations. Sorry, for unallocations. Here we calculated Cij for allocations. Here we have total 13 unallocations. First, coming to the first one, we have at S1 D4. It means D14 we have the unallocation. So C14 minus U1 minus V4. Next, second unallocation is S1 D5. S1 D5. It means C15 U1 minus V5. Next, another unallocation at S2 D1. S2 D1 is S2 D1, that is equal to C21 minus U2 minus V1. Next, S2 D2. Here S2 D2 is delta 22. It means C22 minus U2 minus V2. Next, here S2 D3. S2 D3 is equal to C23 minus U2 minus V3. Okay. Next, these are over. Next, coming to this S3 D1, delta 31 is equal to C31 minus U3 minus V1. Next, here we have S3 D3, S3 D3, C33 minus U3 minus V3. Next, S3 D4, S3 D5 is there. S3 D4 S3 D5. It means C34 minus U3 minus B4. Here C35 minus U3 minus B5. Next here S4 D1 C41 that is equal to U4 minus B1. Similarly we have at S4 D2 C42 minus U4 minus B2. Next S4 D4. At S4 D4 means delta 4 is equal to C44 minus U4 minus B4. Okay, from this we are going to check the optimality. Here we know the U1 shadow base values, at the same time cost values we know. We are going to substitute those values in these equations, then we get the delta Ij values. Here coming to the first one, C14. What is the C14 value? C14 is 15 minus, what is the U1 value? 0, and V4 value is 4 minus 4. 0 minus of minus 4. From this we are going to get 19. Okay, next second one D15. Here 9 0 minus 2 is there. 9 0 minus of minus 2. From this we are going to get 11. Next coming to this 5 6 10. 5 minus 6 minus 5 minus 6 minus 10. Again here we are going to get the negative value, minus 11. Okay, next here we have unallocation 10 6 2. 10 minus 6 minus 2. From this we are going to get 2. Next C23 15 6 3. 15 6 3 is equal to 9. It means 6. Next C31 15 3 10. 15 3 10 is equal to 2. Next 3 3 14 3 3. 14 3 3. From this we are going to get 6 minus 14 8. Next 3 4. At 3 4 means 7 3 minus 4 is there. 7 3 minus 4 is equal to 0. Next here C35 is, at C35 we have, this one is the C35. Okay, so C35 value is 15 3 minus 2. 15 3 minus of minus 2. Here V4 value is minus 4, so we get positive value here 8. Okay, here also 3 minus 3 plus 2 minus is there 1, so 14 we obtained. C41 20 10 minus 10 is equal to 0. Next C42 15 10 minus 2. 15 10 minus 2. From this we get 3. Next D44 25 10 minus 4. 25 10 minus half minus 4. So here 15 we get 15 plus 4 19. Okay, these are the delta Ij values. Here we have the negative values. Again we are going to cross check this value. Here U2 is 6 is there, and we are going to substitute 6 here. Next V1 is C11 10 minus 0, so we are getting 10. So here also we have 6 minus 10 minus 11 we have paid. So the delta Ij is less than 0. Again we are going to check the, again we are going to draw the loops for this negative sign. Here where we have the negative sign, at negative sign is, okay, here we have the negative value at D21. So again we are going to draw the loop for that negatives, and we are, after drawing the loop, we are going to transfer the units. Okay, here I am going to take this table for drawing the loop at delta 21. Where is the delta 21? Here the delta 21 is here we have. So this is the starting point of the loop. Again we are going to draw the loop through this. If suppose if we draw the loop through this direction, again we are going to get like this. Okay, we are starting the loop and we are searching the allocation. Here we have allocation. Again we are moving towards the allocation. Here we have one allocation. Again we are moving the allocation side. Here again, here we have allocation. Again here we have allocation. Again here we have allocation. Now we are going to transfer the units through this allocation: positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. From this, how much negative value is there? Here we have the negative values are 20, 25, 30. From this we have 20 is the minimum. So we are going to transferring the 20 units through that loop. Okay. Here the table is 10, 2, 3, 15, 9. Next 5, 10, 15, 2, 4. Next 15, 5, 14, 7, 15. Next 20, 15, 13, 25, 8. Okay, we are going to transferring the units. Here first the loop is started here. The positive sign is there. So how many units we are transferring? In this table we have the minimum value is minus 20. So we are going to transfer them 20 through this loop. Here positive. So we have the allocation here 20. Next after transferring, here we get 0. So there is no allocation. Next here epsilon is there. Next here 3 is there. 3 means 20. And it means 35 we obtained. Next here 10 is there. Next here positive negative sign is there. So from this we are going to get 10. Here positive means we are going to get 25. Here 5 we are going to get. Next here 20 plus E. It is as it is. Okay. Now we are going to calculate the shadow prices again. Before calculating the shadow prices, we are going to cross check the balance values and supply values: 35, 40, 20, 30. Here 20, 20, 40, 10, 35. Okay, the supply and demand values are satisfied. Here we are going to calculate the shadow prices again. Why? Because we are solving this method by the help of UV method. We are solving this problem by the help of UV method. That's the reason I am going to calculate the shadow prices. Okay. Before we are going to calculate the shadow prices, we have to check the m plus n minus 1 is equal to allocation or not. We are going to check here. Here total how many number of allocations are there? Total 8 allocations are there. So how many number of rows and columns are there? By getting this, we are going to get 8 is equal to 8. It is a non-degeneracy problem. So now we are going to calculate the shadow prices for allocations. First, where we have the allocation, at the allocation is at C12. C12 is equal to U1 plus V2. Next allocation is at here C13, U1 plus V3. Next allocation C21, U2 plus V1. Next C24, U2 plus V4. Next C25, that is equal to U2 plus V5. Next C32, that is equal to U3 plus V2. Next C43, that is equal to U4 plus V3. Next C45, that is equal to U4 plus V5. Okay, from this we are going to get the shadow prices. First we are going to assume the U1 shadow price, any one shadow price is equal to 0, not only U1. Here I would like to take U1 is equal to 0. After taking U1 is equal to 0, we get V2 value. V2 is again we are getting 10. Okay, next here from this V3, it means C13 value is there, 3 is there, 3 minus 0, we are going to get 3. Here we don't know the U1, U2, we go for another one. Here we know the V2 value, so we are going to get U3 from this. C32 is 5 minus V2, what is the V2? 10. Here U3 is minus 5. Okay, now here we know the V3, so from this we are going to get the U4 value. C43 is 13 minus V3 is 3, so 10. U4 is 10. Okay, next coming to this, here we are going to get V5. C45 is 8 and U4 is 10 minus 2. Okay, next coming to here, from this we are going to get U2 value. C25, what is the C25? 4 minus V5 is 2, so U2 is 6. Next C24 means here the C24 value is 2, so from this we are going to get V4 value 2 minus U2 value. What is the U2 value? 6 is equal to minus 4. V4 is minus 4, and here V1 is C21 5 minus U2 6 is equal to minus 1. Okay, now we are going to check the optimality. Okay, now we are going to calculate the DAJ values. Why we are taking the DAJ? For checking the optimality. Okay, here we are going to take this DAJ for unallocations. Here first we have the unallocation at D11, second we have unallocation at D14, next delta 15 we have unallocation, next delta 22, delta 23, next delta 31, delta 33, delta 34, delta 35, next delta 41, delta 42, delta 44. These are the unallocations. Total how many number of unallocations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 unallocations are there. From this we are going to get the optimal solution. Okay, delta 11 means C11 minus U1 minus V1. Here C14 minus U1 minus V4, C15 U1 minus V5. Here we have one logic. We can write this equation based upon this. Here delta 11 means here it is C11 and it is first row and it is first column. So C11 U1 V1. Why we are taking U1 V1 means U1 shadow prices are at row and V shadow prices are at column. That's the reason we are taking U1 V1. U1 V's. Okay. Here also C22 U2 V2. C23 U2 V3, C31 U3 V1, C33 U3 V3, C34 U3 V4, C35 U3 V5, C41 U4 V1, C42 U4 V2, C44 U4 V4. Okay, next coming to the first one. at C11 10 is there, 10 minus U1 is 0 minus V1 is minus 1. From this we get 11. Okay, next C14 15 minus U1 0 minus V4 is minus 4 is equal to 11. Next C15 9 minus U1 is 0 and V5 is minus 2. So 9, 10, 11. Again we are going to get 11 here also. Delta 2 2 10 U2 is 6 minus V2 is 10. 10 minus 10. Okay, from this we are going to get minus 6 here. Okay, next delta 2 3. 2 3 is 15 minus U2. What is the U2 value? 6 minus 15 minus 6. U2 is 6 and U is 3 minus 3 is equal to 6 here. Next delta 3 1. Delta 3 1 is equal to 3 1 here. 15 minus half minus 5 minus half minus 1 is equal to 9. Next C33 14 minus 5 minus 3, okay, is equal to 12. Next 7 minus half minus 5 minus 4 minus 1, it means 6 we get here. 15 minus 5 minus 2 is equal to 8. C41 20 minus 10 minus 1 8, sorry 9 here we get. Next here C42 15 minus 10 minus 10 is equal to 5, and here C44 25 minus 10 minus 4 11. Okay, these are the delta Ig values. Here again we have the negative value, so at delta 22 is negative value is there. Again we are taking the delta 22 here. Again we start the loop from here to the cells. So again we are going to draw the loop from here to here. Next again we are going to give the signs positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Next from this we are going to get the value. Okay, after drawing the loop, again we are going to transfer the minimum units through the loop. Then again we are going to calculate the U1 values, shadow price values, and delta Ij values. So finally we obtained total cost is 630. Okay, you have to solve the remaining problem, and you get from this you get the solution is 630. Here if suppose here when we are calculating the total cost, if suppose we get the 5 into here we have 20 plus E, it is equal to 0. It means we don't want to take this epsilon value. We don't want to consider the epsilon value. If we get the 5 into 0 is equal to 0. Okay. Here we are going to take the E value is 0. So 5 into 20 is equal to 100. So epsilon value is 0 here. Okay. Thank you.